Alpha Dawg, and this is the Dawg Pound.
Yeah!
Do sound effects.
We got one heck of a show for you today. Some of my favorite people in the world. I gathered up a whole collection of friends, and one thing these friends have in common is Digital Dealer. Now, I have a lot of history with Digital Dealer personally. I was a keynote speaker, I guess, at number 2 in Las Vegas. I've spoken at a number of digital dealers. I was instrumental in the very beginning, and I have a soft spot in my heart for the conference, the best educational and networking conference in the industry, my opinion. Not only that, but we got 75 actionable speakers with great content, including my good friend, long-term friend. Notice I didn't say old friend. My long-term friend, Eliana Raggio.
You got it in there.
It was funny because after you said I invited some of my closest friends in automotive, I was going to jump in and say, and Eliana.
Or I was going to say, when you said 75 actionable speakers, I was going to say 74 and Eliana.
No. That's not cool. That's not wrong. That's not wrong.
And now we're like 1 minute and 37 seconds into the broadcast, and Jim is already regretting having the 5 of us as guests on the show.
Oh, already.
It's going to be wild. And one of the most creative guys in the car business, Kyle Mountsier. Hello.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Did I say it correctly?
It's close, but I get it. It's Mountsier. It's way more English than it is French. So, you know,
it is what a great name.
Yeah. So it is an honor to be here. Jim, I think I've said this on a couple of podcasts, but within 2 hours of being in the automotive industry, I was watching a Jim Ziegler video back in 2009. So this is like full circle for me.
Fantastic. I am so glad we are here. Mountsier. I practice.
Very fancy.
You do
okay.
good with that.
And I've always said one of the most brilliant women in the car business, in the automotive universe. Actually, one of the most brilliant persons. My friend Jennifer Briggs.
Good job.
I'm not fancy at all, though. Just pretty simple. I just sell cars.
Your hair is very red today.
Is it? It's actually I need to go touch up these grays, but I'm glad y'all can't see that.
Oh, no. Don't bend down.
I know.
Trending in 2022.
Okay. And when you talk about brilliant, one of the most brilliant men in the entire SEO world. Well, I mean, a man who is an icon. Now, that man couldn't be here today, but we did get Greg Gifford.
Oh, got it.
Jim didn't tell me this was going to be a roast.
I knew. You should have
Hello,
told me
Greg.
before.
This makes me so much more excited to see all y'all next week.
It's going to be fantastic.
I know it.
You're speaking at Digital Dealer as well, aren't you?
I am.
Fantastic. You know, have you got any competition speaking at the same time?
Oh my gosh.
Luckily, I don't have any competition.
We all know everybody's
going
to come see me.
Yeah.
No.
I
don't get it. This is honestly, though, this is the first time in probably 5 or 6 years that Kevin Fry and I aren't up at the same time, because they always.
Oh my God! Right?
Usually,
but this time it's almost
Every
worked.
time.
We've got Kyle and me and Sean Rains all at the same time.
That's
and
right.
Wait, you and Sean are at the
on
same
our
time?
awesome session. So like, it's gonna suck for people to have to choose. Honestly,
Let's just screw it. Let's just all get outside of the rooms, go into the hall, and have like a massive session all together,
okay.
and just get sideways. Just be
so
ridiculous.
for the dealers listening, live or on playback, what that means is there's going to be some great content at conflicting times. Divide and conquer. Get one person from your team in each session.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Send some of your people to see Greg. some of your people to see Kyle and all of your people to see me.
Gentlemen, if you just make your way to the keynote stage like Jim and I are going to, then you wouldn't have this problem.
Well done.
Hey, I did that.
Look at that.
I did that last year. It's okay.
Me too.
Oh God, I've been on
It's
I've been
funny
on the
'cause
keynote
those-
stage a couple times, and the queen of BDC. I mean, you talk about brilliant women. My good friend Bobbie Herron. Hello, Bobbie.
Hello. This is a fun crew today. This is going to be a good time.
Oh, it's always a good time when this crew gets together. Now, Eliana, you're with Digital Airstrike, and what are you doing at Digital Dealer? What are you speaking on?
I am so excited. They once again invited me back to host the Tech Talks, which is a heads-up competition among people who have great technology, and it's voted on. The winner is voted on by the people in the room in the
Love that.
keynote hall.
So you're the moderator for Tech Talk.
I am. So I get to invite these wonderful presenters onto stage. They get a finite amount of minutes to spread their awesomeness and talk to us about what their technology does and how it helps a dealership and how it makes their lives easier, better, faster, whatever. And then we also take questions from the audience, which comes to my phone. And so I read them questions for a finite period of time. And then I say, get the hell off my stage. And then they leave the stage. And then once all the people have presented, then then what happens is we let the audience vote, and they vote, and then the vote is done live, and then we announce a winner. And I think there might be a trophy or like chocolates or something. I'm not really sure.
Oh, that ought to be absolutely excellent.
It is.
I heard
It's
there was
really
going to
fun.
be gummies.
Okay, now, Bobbie, you've spoken at Digital Dealer in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Are you coming this year?
I am coming this year. I'm not speaking this year because with all the family stuff that I had going on, I didn't want to commit to something that I might not be able to actually follow through on. So I will not be speaking this time, but I will be in attendance, making lots of noise, being my crazy fun self.
You'll be in
and
the audience going,
celebrating-
whoop, whoop.
Absolutely. And celebrating all these incredible speakers. Like, this is crazy that they're putting 3 people at the same time. They do this stuff every year, and I'm always amazed. So Digital Dealer, if you're listening, I don't know if you just don't know the level of fun that each of these sessions are or popularity that they are, but it really makes it hard for people to decide because these 3 sessions all at the same time are all not just educational, they're fun. Like, I'm torn. I'm going to be going room to room.
I'll go with you. I'll go with you.
Yes.
Oh, I'd
Follow
100% be in Kyle's session if I wasn't speaking at the same time because the whole topic he's talking about is so huge. But
Yeah.
I
And
think people would be a little
I
mad if
promise-
they show up for my session and I'm not in there presenting.
Yeah.
So
That would be no
promise
good.
that Digital Dealer did not pay me to say this. So if you're listening, I think they're selling recordings of sessions later. So if you're going by yourself and you're not able to make it, like I always try to give people actionable items, like when you're going to a conference to get a return on that investment. So if you aren't going to, like either, like I said earlier, to divide and conquer, I know they are selling individual sessions, I think, instead of like a big streaming pass where you could purchase just 1 or 2 sessions.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's actionable session number 76 right here. You heard it right there.
You heard it right here live on the Alpha Dawg.
Is listening and wants to refund my team on all their tickets for that plug.
That'd be great. And
I
mine,
just-
just refund mine, even though it's not the same team, just because I'm her best
She's
friend.
on the
and
shoe
so-
tribe.
Yeah, that's great.
Jennifer, do you remember when I stood on the stage with a flip camera?
So
Yes,
I know, because remember, I wasn't in accounting. I didn't get to be present for that. I think I came into operations 2 years after you did that session, but I bought flip cams for my first internet sales team because you did that.
That was amazing. This was like Digital Dealer 2003 or Digital Dealer 2004, somewhere in there. I spoke at a lot of them. And I get up in front of the audience and I said, does anybody know what this is? And I had a flip camera.
I remember that.
Yeah, remember the flip
Yeah,
cameras? So I held up the flip camera and nobody in the audience, I had 400 people in that audience, nobody knew what it was. And I said, let me show you. So I went down in the front row and I interviewed a guy or a woman actually in the front row. And then I walked up to the podium again, and then I stuck the flip camera in my laptop and downloaded the interview I just done with the lady, the testimonial. Then I emailed, I put it on YouTube in front of the audience. This is all on the screen. And then I emailed it to myself. And I said, this is how you communicate with customers.
Yeah,
And
I remember that.
minds in the room.
And all of a sudden, video just exploded all across the known dealerverse. And
still not enough.
And still people struggle to get video in their dealerships. It's unbelievable.
Amazing.
Where the hell is Elise Kephart when we need her?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Well, Elise
There's a bomb
I
advertisement waiting to happen.
I discovered Elise.
I know.
I mean,
During that time. Well, it's crazy how far videos come.
At that time, I found Elise on the internet, and I brought her out and had her speak at one of my conferences. And the next thing I know, she's left the dealership. She's a star herself. So, Kyle, what are you speaking about? What are you doing?
There's a couple sessions that incorporate video in Tampa this time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I was taking a look at, actually, as we're talking, I was taking a look to see who else was doing it, because video's
Steve
huge.
the Hair Rustler, always good for a video session.
He's great for
I call him
Jimmy Drive.
Jimmy Neutron, absolutely.
Jimmy Neutron.
The first time I met him was on the Tech Talk stage at Digital. Dealer.
Really?
Yes. And he will never forget it. Ask him next time you see him, say, Eliana told me the first time she met you. When was it? And he will never forget it, because I think he had a mild coronary.
The man,
I'm gonna have to find out about
the man is not on this show because he's too dull and he has no energy.
Oh yeah, that explains him perfectly. I can't believe he's not listening to this show though right now, and we're all going to give him a hard time about that.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
I tried to invite him, but I couldn't locate him. And as it turns out, I think he told me he's in Chicago right now and couldn't be on. He was actually invited.
He's microchipped, so we can find him because he's.
Kyle, what are you speaking about a digital dealer? Why is your session so much better than Greg's?
Yeah. I hand out candy in every session. That's all you need to know. No, so
What kind of candy?
Well, one, just so you know, whenever I start any of my sessions, there's always something really, really intriguing and fun that we do. So you always kind of got to show up to see what happens. But we're talking about vendor dealer partnerships. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and I think so myself and Paul, my business partner with Automotive State of the Union, SODU, we've sensed this real need to realign like the expectations there, both from the vendor and industry partner and dealer side. And so just kind of like getting some level set, some groundwork, what should everybody be holding each other accountable to, redefining the word partnership, and giving dealers the capacity and vendors the capacity to really understand that relationship better. And here's why. Because I think that 2022, out of everything that's happening, we've got all this tech. DR was the last 2 years, right? All of that type of stuff. In my opinion, the theme, and I've been saying this since the beginning of the year, the theme of 2022 is if collaboration doesn't happen in our industry at a much higher level, collaboration, industry partner to industry partner, industry partner to dealer, dealer to OEM, all of that. If collaboration isn't free flowing, that's where retail automotive will stop to succeed. And so if we don't get that right, like we're all just going to continue the infighting and calling names, and you don't know how to do this and you don't know how to do that, and you've never been a dealer, so you don't know. And you've never built tech, so you don't know, and all that stuff.
Kyle, do you actually believe that there's conflict?
Bobbie?
Do you actually believe there's conflict between the vendors and the dealers?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
There is.
Yeah. I've given a similar session before,
started
5, so I know this will be good.
Yeah, actually,
I honestly believe that if a dealer can think of whoever they're doing business with, that other business vendor, we're calling them vendors, right? So if a dealer can think of a particular vendor that they're working with and they can't actually consider them a true partner in their success, then they are just a vendor and they're replaceable.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but I do think one of the things that's valuable, and I'm just hinting at that because prior to leaving directly in the dealership, Bobbie and I did a keynote session with Greg and Sean Rains on the same topic. They represented the vendors and we represented the dealers, and how that conversation needs to happen. And guys, that was what is that, 2019? That's like that's like 3-4 years ago.
No, that was like 2017 or 2018.
Yeah, it was before. It was way
That was
before COVID.
Pre-pandemic. That time doesn't even exist anymore.
Right. But I think the pandemic has made it worse. So I think that this is a good, valuable topic, regardless of what side of the fence you sit on. You know, if you're a vendor or if you're a dealer, I mean, I think that's incredibly valuable.
Agreed. Yep. Are you going to have mics? Are you going to be dropping mics?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and we bring gold nuggets, the whole 9 yards. Yes. Okay, no, but here's the bigger thing, and I think
but Greg's giving out gummies.
Yeah.
I wish, man, that would be so epic.
Then I won't preach too much longer, but I think the bigger thing is there's actually like a larger level of collaboration that has to happen, and not just like the one-to-one, right? There's the one-to-one like dealer partner relationship. But there's actually a much larger collaboration perspective that has to happen between like all of the dealers and all of the industry partners that says like, hey, y'all, we're actually kind of in this thing together, right? And if one of us doesn't succeed, then none of us succeeds. And I think that there's actually a better undertone at the like individual level of partnership, like that partnership actually happens than the global level of partnership. And I think that's the one that we really have to talk about.
Are you ready for student council president? Because I feel like we should get you a
oh my god!
Anybody else feel it right now? But you know, you're right. You know what I wish would come back is the true dealer advisory boards, not just the dealer advisory boards of getting influencers on it, but true dealer advisory boards used to just kill it. And we knew what was happening. It's where I learned a lot of what I know and built a lot of the relationships that I have, which are paramount to any level of success that I want to achieve or to help people around me do. I want to see that come back in full effect.
Right.
Truly the right way.
That's enough to the partners. If you have a company, whether you have a technology, whether it's a software or a service, if you're not actively asking your dealers how to make it better through a dealer advisory board, you're leaving money on the table.
Can I give a deeper actionable suggestion?
You just gotta do it. If you ask, you won't get to.
Stop only putting GMs and dealer principals on those things.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Especially if it's the software, because they don't know how it works.
Yeah, start putting the marketing director,
a few
the CTO,
of the end users.
Yeah, salespeople. Yes.
Oh boy.
Do you remember Eliana when we named my company? And it was such a struggle. And Eliana came up with the name for the company because I can't name things at all. And everybody worked together. And then we ran a poll on Fiverr to see what people thought of it, because it's the bee's knees agency, right? So here's what we found, that with the decision makers, with the GMs, the dealers, the owners, typically by age, category, demographic, they would go, oh, the bee's knees, that means it's awesome. I remember that from childhood. That was the whole thing. But more impactful was the influencers, the marketing directors, the BDC people, the sales managers, the salespeople. I can't tell you, but every time somebody goes to a restaurant and there's a bee's knees drink on the menu, I get a picture sent to me.
But you
marketing all the time.
Bobby,
you need
Bobby, bee's knees works because Angry Woman would not be a great title.
Oh,
yeah, I tried. I did try to make it that way. Here's what happened. I'm only angry 4% of the time. 4% of the time I'm angry and it happens.
The Angry Woman Agency.
You've seen a bee sting somebody, right? They have killer bees now.
I mean, they die. So it's
there's murder hornets now. Whatever.
Right. We just help people sting their competition. That's what we do. But
new tagline, right?
But
okay.
Other than that, she's sweet as honey.
Greg Gifford. Hey, Greg, what are you going to be talking about?
So and what's your theme?
Search engine marketing, I'm guessing, probably.
Like
pay-per-click advertising, right? You love paper.
No. So I'm going to be talking about all the changes that have happened through COVID, and especially towards the end of last year with Google. So Google rolled out several major updates. They rebranded Google My Business to Google Business Profiles. You can now edit your business profile without logging into the dashboard. So I'm going to talk about all the new things. I'm also going to go off on my rant about how the OEM approved vendor system is not in a dealership's best interest, and then it's actually bad for dealerships. So that rant's going to be fun. And,
especially related to your Google business.
I'm going to tell people a lot of stuff
again. Greg, slow down. Say that again.
I'm going to talk about all of the Google updates. Just the end part, you mean?
Yeah, just the end part.
Yeah, just that hot fire.
I'm
Just
gonna
that,
talk about
just that hot
how
fire you blew right at the end there.
OEM approved vendor program is not in a dealership's best interest. It's not even in a dealer group's best interest. It is hugely bad for dealers to use any of those vendors, and I'm going to explain why. And basically, I will be sharing a lot of truths and a lot of knowledge bombs that dealers need to hear, not necessarily what they want to hear. And since I'm not working for any OEM approved vendor anymore, I can tell the truth and not have to blow smoke up people's asses.
Well, you ought to hear this coming Thursday. Brian Pash and I are doing a joint broadcast.
Okay.
And we'll be talking about a similar subject.
Oh,
yeah.
So the actionable thing for any OEM reps that are going to be in Tampa, go sit in Greg's session, and maybe you can be a better collaborator and partner for your dealers that are paying for that franchise license.
And do you have a theme this time, Greg?
I saw it on Batman.
Oh, I don't remember. Let me look real quick.
Wait, what?
What is it?
I mean,
That is not
superhero movie.
Marvel heroes. What do you
Yeah,
got?
it's superhero movie. So I've got
COVID did not kill your
Let me open my
themes, right?
slides.
Like that can't be a thing.
Wait, I thought it said Batman. That's why I was like, I'm Batman.
No, yeah, it's a ridiculously badass Batman title slide.
Okay.
But let me see how many movies I have in this one. I have a double session, so it's 2 sessions back to back. So I basically get 2 hours to cover what I'm going to cover. So
Ooh,
I can
somebody's
squeeze in
fancy.
even more. So yeah, I have 106 references to superhero movies.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Is there going to be a quiz?
The most
Do I need an
important,
answer?
Greg, the most important question.
Yes.
What new tats do you have?
Oh my God, I was going to ask him that. Yes, show us your new tat.
Since when? I mean, basically, this whole arm is. I'm like 3/4 of the way done with this arm. So I've got snake. Well, I got to go backwards. Snake Plissken. I've got airplane sniffing glue on the back.
Oh, dang.
I love that
I've
one.
got,
I do too.
That's Donald Sutherland from Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I've got Little Shop of Horrors there on the side, and then I
Feed
just
me
got.
some
It's
more.
really
Oh
crusty
my
looking, so it doesn't look like
gosh.
Huey Herman.
So you won't
If
just
there-
be
if I
attending
ever
a
get-
session. You'll be
if
attending an
I-
art show
If
as
I
well.
ever get stranded on a desert island, I want you with me because I can read your tats like funny papers, just
Pretty soon, in another year or so, I won't need slides with movies anymore. I could just
You just
point
show
out my
your whole
tattoos
body.
and make jokes.
Yes.
Are you gonna dress up as Batman? I triple dog dare you, so now you have to. That's how
A
those
Batman
work. with the dog
tattoo?
dares.
No,
Are you gonna dress up as Batman?
No, I don't dress up. I only dress up.
I know. I thought we were
The
doing
only
something
time I ever
Ladies-
dressed up was when I did
Ladies and
dual
gentlemen, we're
presentation
talking
shop.
about Digital
gotta do
Dealer Tampa.
not a
Digital
costume party,
Dealer
but yes.
Tampa coming
Yes.
up. Digital Dealer Tampa coming up May 9th through
I'll
the
wear a
11th.
Batman mask.
I think
Some
I
of
might get a
us,
cape.
some of us are featured speakers, and unfortunately, Bobbie, you're not speaking. I wish you were on stage again.
I know, it's that way. You got to balance family and work. And this time around, I'm dealing with some family stuff at home that had to be prioritized. And you know how it is. You can't commit to being on a stage and then not show up for any reason. You just can't, because you have an audience who's taken the time to say that they want to see you. They've planned around it,
Right.
and they're giving you their time. And so I just couldn't do that. But listen, I might end up on a couple stages at Digital Dealer, just messing around. Might be up there saying hi to Eliana. I'm probably gonna dress like Batman. Things are going down. Plans are in the works now.
That would
I
be
hope-
so
I hope
epic if you come to my session in a Batman outfit and just run through the room and run out. That would be so awesome.
Done.
That would be
Amazon will give me.
strong. That would
Look,
be so
I'll tell you a
strong.
story one time about a cape at the airport where I had to negotiate getting through, and it worked. So I'm in.
Yeah,
I have a
and
Batman
it's
costume.
not like she doesn't already own that costume.
She does.
You just got to run up front,
Oh, no.
lean into my mic, and say, "I'm Batman," and then run out.
I'm
That'd be
Batman.
awesome.
So Bobbie, that video from 5 years ago popped up on my Facebook a couple of days ago of Bobbie going, I'm not saying I'm Batman, Jennifer. What I'm saying is no one's ever seen us in the same room together.
Facts.
Strong. That's
In
Jennifer-
essence, it's going to
Jennifer
be
had-
one heck of a digital dealer.
You know what I am excited about
It's gonna
though
be
with this
so
Digital
good.
Dealer is a lot of times when you're speaking, you don't get to attend a lot of the sessions. You're either at the same time as somebody you really want to see, or
Yeah.
you're chatting with people afterwards. So what I'm doing is what I've always done is the first day of Digital Dealer, I offer all the dealers the chance to have a conversation about what are they trying to accomplish and what session should they go to. behind the scenes and help them map it out. It's just a quick conversation, no obligation. So I will be offering that if anybody wants to do that. But I'm excited to not be speaking this time because I'm going to get to actually be an attendee. And it's been a long time since I've got to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm really pumped about that.
Whether you're a speaker or like participating in planning the conferences, because of course, Digital Dealer is, I think NADA, of course, is bigger, but I think from a content and educational standpoint, really Digital Dealer has the most variety of content for every department. Yep. And so I think one of the things I know for me that's unique, and I definitely always laughing about you two being on the same, I never saw Weiss on stage until I took a step back from speaking because we were always at the same time. Yeah. So I never got to attend one of his sessions. But I think, again,
Brent's one of my favorite presenters.
Fantastic. It was great. Like, and again, with the situation and whether you're speaking or not speaking, Kyle's point is really important because even before I started speaking, which Tampa Digital Dealer was the first time I officially spoke everywhere. And I'm not going to talk about the year because evidently I'm old. But again, we have good hair color and concealer. We don't care.
You're vintage.
I just want to point out I'm the second oldest person on this broadcast.
You look like you're 25.
I got underwear older than all of you.
No, you don't. Miss Debbie would not allow that.
I'm wearing it right
Debbie
now.
That's dangerous. You're asking for trouble there.
I'm wearing it right now.
Oh gosh, Jim. Oh no. But there are a lot of valuable things that happen afterwards. And I think that I got pushed into actually speaking because I was that attendee that asked a million questions during the session. And then I think some of the speakers got annoyed because people would come up to me instead of them after the session. And so we'd end up having these conversations. So I think one of the things, it's not even a session, but the peer networking and the round
unbelievable.
You meet so many great people at Digital Dealer.
You can't miss it. You can't miss it.
I met all of you. No, I met Bobbie and Jennifer at one of my events.
Yeah, Internet Battle Plan.
Great. Did I meet you at Digital Dealer one of my events?
Yeah, Digital Dealer was the first time we met.
Exactly.
I feel like it was the first time you and I met as well, Jim. No?
Yeah, Digital Dealer. Yeah, you pulled up in a limousine and I was leaving. It was in New Orleans. And I'm thinking.
He was like, I had a Pinto for some reason.
Boy, she must be right. Boy, she must be rich.
But honest to God, like this is the whole thing. Everybody can give you tips and actionable things at Digital Dealer, right? We can tell you don't wear the high heels during the day, wear the flip flops, do all this stuff. We can tell you what sessions to go to, right? But I will tell you, for me, the most important thing that I've ever done at a conference was show up afterwards. Go to the bar and have the drink, have the water, do the networking. Do not go back to your room. Because I promise you, like when I need something answered on SEO, I call Greg. When I need something answered for SEM, I have all these people who are the most brilliant people. And genuinely, we formed real friendships. And they started in a bar or playing Pokemon together.
Right.
We were already friends when we did that, but that's our thing. But they started in these ways where we got out of our comfort zones and we just had conversations.
Because experts are real people too.
Right. Nobody
Jennifer, have you spoken at a Digital Dealer?
Oh, a few.
Yeah, I thought you had.
She caught one on fire.
What was the last presentation?
I sure did.
What was the last presentation you did, Jennifer?
Well, that was before Carter got hospitalized. My son was sick, and that's what pulled me off of the circuit. I was actually coming back, was on a tarmac, and I got the call, and I'm like, that's it, we're done. But I believe the last one I spoke on was managing metrics that make you money, actually how to utilize. Everybody talks about these digital metrics, but nobody can actually equate them and how you use them for incremental growth in your dealership, whether it's, in fixed ops or in service. For those of you who don't know, right, I started in the accounting office in the dealerships. I have an accounting degree and a finance degree, but now I do sales and operation and marketing. So utilizing that and translating it to actually increase your revenues.
There you go.
Even in times when it's not like it is now, where it's ever the rising tide, right?
So. Yeah, I think my last one was, is your CRM a basic bitch? And that's not me swearing, that was the title.
Wait,
it turns out it was. That was the title, I'm just saying. That was
That's great. Thing. That is an awesome title, and I know titles. All right.
Yeah. You're so good at them.
By the way, You've all done webinars with me except for you, Kyle. What the hell's wrong with you?
Slacker.
This is
Slacker.
true.
Playing
This
hard
is
to get
true.
over there. He's all, you can have candy if you come to my.
I
you
so
go.
apologize.
Right? He didn't say he had hot tamales or Fireball or anything, though.
I hope all of you.
I mean, I want
Slacking.
tamales.
I hope all of you stop by and attend my session.
We are absolutely I'm gonna bring cocktails and use my Get Buzzed with B hashtag.
Please,
Game on.
I'm speaking on 20 things a dealership needs to do post-pandemic.
Wow.
What time are you at? What day and time? Let the audience
2
know.
o'clock on the first day. The
Oh,
night.
really? There's a
Monday.
bunch of other sessions.
I'm
that I
on
was
the
gonna
big.
go to.
I'm on the big. I'm on the big stage. So 2 o'clock
Can't miss
on
it.
the 9th, and 6 years ago, I did 20 things a general manager needs to do every week.
I was at that session.
That was a huge
Was
session.
a packed room that session.
So I'm trying to get a packed room this session. Let's see
Well,
what we can do.
I'm excited about Erica Wells' session too on Tuesday. She's doing service.
Yo.
ROs and POs and all the jazz.
Erica Tiffany
brilliant.
Wells.
Yep, she is brilliant. She really is.
Mhm.
That's going to be a really good session. And the April Simmons is doing one as well, and she's brilliant.
She's
Oh, she's doing
Yeah,
one with
she does have
four
two.
people. She's got one with a panel group. I interviewed them a couple weeks ago,
yeah.
and
All those ladies and Lori and everyone.
Lori
That's awesome.
Halter's in it.
Yeah.
Hannah Lifson's in it, and oh god, Brian Pash's season.
Oh,
Denise.
Denise.
Oh,
Yeah.
Denise.
Right on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah,
I never
Denise.
put her two names
Yeah.
It's going to be an
together.
interesting show because
Yeah,
even
so
for people who
that-
attended before, you're going to have to map out this show, like have a
Yeah.
plan, or you
Yeah,
will
the
get
sessions
distracted. and miss-
lineup is crazy this
It is.
time.
Love digital
Tuesday
deals.
morning, I would pay attention. The guys from Longo, Lexus of Pembroke Pines, are presenting. The GSM and BD director. That's gonna be, those guys know what's up. They're doing something
What
right. down
session are there? What's their names?
there.
the
So
audience
it's Castillo is the BD director who I know.
Oh, Castillo is great. I mean,
yeah, genius. And
that's
then
the
he's got his
number one
GSM
Lexus
presenting
dealer
with
in
him.
the country.
Yeah.
Number one Lexus dealer in the country.
That's
I've interviewed him, and he's got a strong base, strong knowledge. That's what I would attend. Hope
You
that's
got to
not
have a
big-
strategy for this. You really do, because there's
And-
going to be
and-
so much coming at you. What you're trying to do in your store, what you want to focus on, map out what it is, what sessions you need based on that. And then, like Jennifer said, divide and conquer. Record as your friend. Okay. So are notes.
And digital dealers color coded, right? If you're looking for operations, whether it's sales and variable versus fixed ops, like they have a color coding on their agenda. So if you're coming to look at service, like I know I'm going to be, attending a lot of service driven classes, not necessarily because we have hours to sell. I have several clients who are looking at adding a second shift, and that's scary for a dealership to do. And of course, I just like to drive the traffic there to buy it. So, more VINs through the lane is more cars on my used car lot. But I think knowing what you're going for and it printed out, use an app, whether you're a digital person or old school, I print them because I'm old school, and I'll circle and I'll look. I'm like, okay, this is my number 2 choice. And then like Bobbie said, guys, if you went by yourself and you actually went to the after hours thing and you met some other cool people and dealers who might be attending, you can swap notes.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this is how Jennifer and I became best friends.
This is not how you and Jennifer became best friends.
It
I know
absolutely
this
actually
story.
is. It absolutely is. It's the night we fell in love because she tried to go back to her room and I was like, I'm not hanging out with you. Go back to your room.
Right. I came to my first digital dealer like 5 seconds coming out of the admin office. I was the comptroller, right? Into operations. Like 5 days later, I'm going to digital dealer to learn about this stuff. I didn't know anyone. Bobbie and I were competitors, right? We were in the same
He was
market.
smoking me is what was really happening. Just killing me. And I was trying to get her a job in another market. You don't like your competitor? Listen, you don't need advertising if you don't like your competitor. Get them relocated.
So after I was relocated, we were able to hang out. But I always would go back and take what I learned, work on spreadsheets. I'm a total numbers geek, right? There's an art and science to what we do in retail, and the art, until you get really good at that, that's your word tracks, that's your tactics, your techniques. You got to get good at the science, which is math. Activities breed results. So I'd be working on spreadsheets. And this young lady said, that's the dumbest thing ever. You're going to a party with me. I didn't even bring a dress. Like, I went to this fancy swanky party in jeans and a Red Wings t-shirt because I came to work. And she goes, no, this is working and you're going to come out. And then the next day I caught Digital Dealer on fire.
Wait,
And there was a fire alarm. Everybody remember that?
Was that the one in Paris?
Out.
No, wasn't that Atlantic City?
I think it was Atlantic City because it's a cheesy location.
Gosh, I remember that.
Yeah, that was
Stop! It
forever
wasn't
ago.
the Atlantic City show.
When did it get caught
I
on
think it
fire?
was.
No. There was a fire at the Atlantic City
Yeah.
show. I remember we were all outside.
Right. Well, we were friends
You didn't
before
do
that.
that.
We weren't best
No.
friends
Her,
until that.
her situation was so hot, the whole place got on fire. That's what happened.
Well, if you
I
have
refuse to come in.
Dang.
if you have no history with Digital Dealer, you don't remember Roscoe riding around on his little.
Yep.
I remember
In
that.
his size medium shirts.
medium.
Those mediums. It's no good.
No, I was doing an SEO podcast earlier this week and having basically the same conversation that the real value in a conference, sure, you go to the conference and you can talk to vendors and you can sit in on the educational sessions, but the true value is all the stuff that happens after the conference is over. The after parties, the dinners that you go to, the bars that you hang out and meet these people where you get to, like Bobbie said, where, you know, all these people are like, oh my gosh, Greg Gifford, he's this big SEO guy. But like, I'm just a dude. And if you hang out with me at a party and I know who you are, you can just pick up the phone and call me and ask me SEO questions. You get all kinds of free consulting advice that I would never give to somebody that just called me up out of the blue that I didn't know. But hey, look, if I know you and we hung out at a bar, cool, I'm going to help you out. And that's, you can't put a dollar value on that. And I'm not saying like it's
all right. Hey, look, I've had enough of it.
Anyway.
I wasn't going to plug it, but look, on Monday night, myself and Paul, if you know Paul Daly, we're throwing an event. It's called the Asodu Family Remix.
Wait a second.
But
I'm going.
all y'all have to come.
I'm going.
Well, I didn't know
We're
about it,
announcing an
so
event
I'm
here.
gonna-
Okay.
You kick me off the camera? What's happening here?
What happened? She's gone.
He was like, "You talking about a party? Get Bobbie off the screen."
She's gonna
I'm
sing
going
you.
to that party. So if you guys aren't sure if you want to go, to a party like that, and you're like, "I won't know anybody," I'm going. You can come be my friend. I carry conversation cards and
tell
hand
us
them out.
about your party, Kyle.
So we're doing it at American Social, which is kind of right across the water. It's a 0.2 mile walk, or you can Uber.
Right, just across the bridge, right?
Just across the bridge. We are, dealers are free. Industry partners have to pay. But if anyone on this call wants to come, you wonderful, lovely 5 people, you're on.
Write that down.
Wait,
I'm in.
I can
what
just drop
time
your
is
name
that?
when I show up.
It's 7 to 10. Okay. I'm gonna message all of you all afterwards. If there's an industry partner listening right
drinks? Is there drinks and food?
now, okay, free food,
Yeah.
2 drink tickets for everybody.
Pole dancers.
Only if you come,
Ziegler.
sir.
Pineapple.
Only if you're there, because I'm sure you will.
When I said I was going to be on
we're
stages,
getting-
that's
this is
not what
what's
I
really
meant.
cool. This is what's really cool. We're doing this really cool swag experience where, you know how when you go to events, you always get swag that you never want, like that stupid selfie stick. Well, you can
I
actually
love those. Give them to me.
pick the thing that you want kind of off the rack. So that'll be fun. And then
to make
a
your
lot
own
of really
swag
cool
deal.
dealers and industry partners, you know, David
And
Spizak,
where's
Cirillo,
where's
all of
this
you guys will be
again?
here. American
And
Social. If you go
That's
to
a great location.
ASOTU.com, ASOTU.com, click the banner at the top. You can get tickets and find out all about it. But dealers are free. They've been paid for. So you're in industry partners have to pay. If you're an industry partner and you're listening to this right now, I literally just texted our admin person. Just enter code Alpha Dawg. And if you don't know how to spell that, it's on the screen. All caps, Alpha Dawg, and you get 25% off. So I was like, I just made executive decisions on the fly. Because I was like,
because you're
That's what we
asking
do.
better
Fire
collaboration.
collaboration around here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna piggyback on that. Sorry, Kyle. I'm gonna piggyback on what Kyle said, because at American Social on Monday night, you said your event starts at 7.
yes.
The Women in Automotive event starts at 6.
You know what's really cool about that? You know what's really cool? We've actually collaborated with Women in Automotive. If you go and get the Women in Automotive ticket, they are automatically getting you a ticket to our event as well. So it's a collab event. You get both tickets at the
Wow.
same time, and y'all can, I mean, it's just going to be a night at American
So
Social.
if you want to
That's
hang
gonna
out
be
with the
where it
cool
is.
kids,
It's
you
a
know where we're all
love
going to be.
fest. It's a
Yes.
love fest of all amazing automotive people. And like I say, it's a few hours of automotive awesomeness you can't miss.
Oh,
God, I missed that.
it's like she has a voice for radio or something.
Velvet.
Not a face, not
I
a face,
missed
just a voice.
I love
I got
it,
my
love
tickets
it.
right here. So if you're going to come to the cocktail reception, it's going down Monday night, May 9th. Let's go.
I'm excited.
Eliana, what is your favorite digital dealer story?
It might be the one with Steve Rustler.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a pretty funny one. Actually.
Well, tell the story.
Okay. Poor Steve Rustler. He's not here to defend himself. Okay, so
I like it.
I'm on stage and I'm doing tech talks, and it wasn't the first time I was doing tech talks, but it was the first time Steve Rustler was doing a tech talk. So I'm doing tech talks, and I literally have a timer on my podium, and I have to let each of the presenters one at a time. They're on the stage only one at a time, right? I have to let each of them know when they have only 1 minute left. And so the way we all discussed it, and we all said, I would just lean into the microphone and say 1 minute during their presentation. So Steve Rustler, he's on a roll. You could tell he's got that Rustler attitude. He's doing his thing. He's talking about the CRM. Yeah. And then I lean in and I say 1 minute. And like mid-sentence, he's like, and he looks at me and he completely loses his train of thought.
Oh no.
Absolutely spaces it. And I look at him and I'm like, keep going. And he's like, yeah. Okay, yeah. And he totally took him.
No, Steve.
Yes. And it was like a really uncomfortable. I mean, it was probably only like 8 or 9 seconds, but it was a really long 8 or 9 seconds.
No.
It's
But
like
that's
when
how we
someone
met.
calls into a BDC and someone says, let me look that vehicle up for you. And it's that 9 seconds that feels terrible. All the BDC people know what I'm talking about. So
The whole thing.
same feeling.
But I will say there have been some epic digital dealer parties that have just gone down in history as just some, great networking events, but really, really fun. And I've had the pleasure of attending numerous ones. So
I remember
I'm hoping for another one.
Cobalt party. Remember Cobalt?
Yeah.
Sure do.
Didn't they become CDK, I think? And
Yeah, they got bought. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Cobalt had a party had a Chinese theme, and they had the dragon come through, and it was like crazy. I mean,
That was really cool.
that you were
And
there.
remember, I don't know if you were at this one, Jim, but we had the one that was it was one of the Orlando ones in like maybe 2016, 2017, where it was at that club with just crazy epic show with like
that was amazing
dancers everywhere and a Michael Jackson impersonator, and like that was a crazy party too.
Good.
Wasn't that
Yes.
wasn't that a Dealer On party? That was
it was multiple people, but yeah, Dealer On did sponsor part of that.
Yeah,
That
it was a great party. I gotta
I
say, like
remember
the
being in
old
that club,
ownership,
because they have
we
one in
talk
Miami,
about
too.
Roscoe and his schmedium, but I have only been to a couple digital dealers since it was taken under new ownership. And the first one, I was disappointed in the difference in networking. And I think that was just part of like new ownership. And then, kind of COVID hit. So I'm really hoping that this time it used to be so much fun afterwards. And it seems like it's really pared down now. So I'm hoping that we feel that again this time.
I think we can blame that on the pandemic. And
yeah,
this is one of those things, now that we've had NADA and we've already had the digital dealer in Vegas, which was a complete success. This is one of those things that not just us vendors are looking forward to, the dealerships are looking forward to. They can't wait to get back out there, get back to normal,
I know.
and be able to make those connections, press the flash, actually meet people in person. It's not the same as when you have a conference that's virtual. We did it because that's all we had available to us. But I'm so glad. It's so good to be back in person. I was actually on stage at the last digital dealer in Vegas, and I hadn't been on stage in 18 months. And it was my job as the MC to welcome everyone back to Digital Dealer Live. And it was glorious. And I'm so glad we're just going to keep this train going and just keep doing it. And I'm really looking forward to Tampa.
Eliana, the last time I spoke was October of 2019. Internet Battle Plan. We wrapped up. Greg, you were there.
Yep.
I wrapped up with I did a Ziegler rant. I mean, I just went total free flow. I did a rant, no preparation. Got the audience fired up. I did my speech, and then 2 weeks later, I was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer.
Wow.
And Bobbie and Jennifer came to visit me when I was in the chemo. Remember all that? And then I had the surgery and almost died 3 times. And I'm 14 days in intensive care. And then all of a sudden, COVID hits. Mm-hmm. I haven't been on stage since 2019. Mm-hmm. I have done hundreds of speeches, 17 NADA breakouts, 98 state dealer conventions. I was the keynote speaker. I've done hundreds of seminars, 25 battle plans, and now I'm back on stage.
It's a comeback tour.
I'm so excited.
It's crazy because, I'm a professional speaker, and to be off for 3 years.
Right.
This may be the last time. I'm not traveling. My immune system is not what it should be. Even though I'm cancer free.
Yep.
So I'm going to do the presentation, and
you're going to be hopped up on that golden seal, right? So your immune system's boosted.
Oh, we got it. That's rolling. Right. Okay. We got it rolling. 20 things we need to do post-pandemic. It's never going to be the way it was. If you're sitting around waiting for it to come back, excuse me, pay attention. It's not coming back.
Yeah. Nope. Send me a picture of your business card so I can put you on the list to acquire.
Exactly. Exactly.
So she'll be doing all the inquiring. I talk too much shit about the OEM for them to ever let me have anything.
What we say publicly is one thing.
No, Jim Farley at Ford, I think, is mad at me. I mean, I had him on speed dial, but he won't answer my calls.
Hey, they're one of the OEMs that is really messing up with dealers' Google business profiles and are going to cause their dealers to get suspended. So I'm a little mad at him right now.
Yeah, well, that would be more.
I'm mad at anybody. She's mad at
Ford Direct. Yeah, I had a conversation with Ford Direct about that about 3 weeks ago. They are struggling. Yeah.
We cannot go off on a tangent, boys and girls. We will run out of time. Yeah, this sounds like a good conversation for next week.
We could definitely run out of time.
I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I'm the adult in the conversation. Like, wrap it in, guys. Reel it in.
Jim Ziegler, just in case you didn't know, you had an entire industry of people that were praying for you. We're so glad we're going to get to see you.
Thank you
on stage at Digital Dealer. I'll be there.
When you're
with a whiskey in hand, right,
Bobbie? When you're laying on a pallet and some doctor says, "Hurry up, we're losing him," and you hear that.
Well,
you gave us a good scare. I'm sure that was even scarier for you. I know
you don't want to be hearing all that, So
you look great, though. We didn't need to go that far for a weight loss plan, but you look great.
Well, I turned 76 soon. I'm 75. Just trucking right along. Yeah, I think I'm immortal.
I don't think Miss Debbie would agree. What did you say, Greg? Greg asked if Miss Debbie was coming.
Yeah, I don't think Miss Debbie's coming, right?
No, Miss Debbie's not coming. My son Zachary's driving me. So since Zach's driving me, and somebody's got to stay home and watch the pets. And
see, that's what I was getting. That's where my question was going. Was if she was coming, who's watching the pets? So
who's watching the new puppy?
Debbie's going to sit this one out. She said, "I've heard the guy before."
We're talking about dogs, and so the dog came over and laid down next to me.
I told you were a full-time dog owner.
Man.
No, I'm not.
My puppy last night was excited when I got home from work and jumped up and put her paws right on my broken ribs. So
dogs love you. No. Dogs love you more than your wife.
Well, I'm not planning on getting a wife just yet. I'm not sure what I'm doing. But
you don't know what you're missing.
I'll keep you posted.
It's funny because
you can always test. whether your dog or your wife loves you more. You put them both in the trunk for about 4 hours.
Oh,
let them out,
stop.
see
Stop
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Stop
Wow.
it.
You know it's 50 minutes in when, right?
You know, he's
Is
that,
what
he's
it
that
is?
uncle at Thanksgiving, guys.
Listen, ladies, this is why you should always carry a pocket knife. Just pop that.
Yeah, you let them.
That's how much I love my husband.
Look,
I
you
do
guys
count.
have
Listen,
a pull in the
when
inside.
I get back from Digital Dealer Tampa, will my husband or my son have a little bit of pee come out of them when they see me? No, but my dog will.
That's right.
Got that right.
Oh, I almost said that everywhere.
When your wife and your dog are in the trunk, you let them out. Which one's glad to see you?
No.
So this is the thing. We get in so much trouble after these shows because people be like, Jim's that. I'm like, Jim's that. He's that uncle, that grandpa at dinner. We got it. Right. We got code words going out. But I got to say, if you don't know Jim loves his wife immensely, and she would put him in a trunk before he ever got her in one.
Oh,
She lets him joke like
Oh,
that.
Debbie.
I am in charge of my household.
You are not.
Every man likes to think so.
Right.
When Miss Debbie is
That's
on the
right.
other
You guys
floor.
wear the pants and we'll pick them out.
That's why we have such a hard time when I have friends like you guys on this broadcast. I mean, it's like herding cats. The subject, ladies and gentlemen, actually
Digital
is
dealer, I
digital
forgot.
dealer. Digital dealer is what
Wow,
we're
who
talking
knew?
about.
Don't put anybody in a trunk at Digital Dealer because it's
No.
a felony, and we'll have heard the show. The police can trace it. Wait,
I've seen you in handcuffs.
you,
Wow.
this
I
would be
have a
handcuffs.
lot. I've
For
seen
the
it.
record.
We better explain that. We better explain that.
Well, it was on my bucket list to talk a cop into handcuffing me. It was a moment. It presented itself, and I thought,
Yeah.
for sure,
You had
we're
to
gonna
talk
do
him
this.
into it?
It
Yeah.
wasn't hard.
Wow.
Well, Jim helped we were driving, we were leaving dinner and we didn't have no headlights on because I think you had
You know,
just
I'm
been to
spontaneous.
service and they turned it
I
off.
had been to a car wash,
And it was
the
bright
car
in the
wash had
parking
turned my lights off on the car, the automatic lights. So
Yeah.
I didn't even know my headlights weren't on because it's a pretty well lit street. Here
We
the
just
cop-
pulled out.
Cop lights me up, and so the cops laugh, and I said, "Look, and I played, hey, I'm a cancer patient, you know."
But you really were a
Oh,
cancer
no.
patient.
I was
Yes,
at the
you were.
time, yeah.
Did that work?
Yeah.
Well, that or me letting the cop handcuff him worked. Either way, team players all
So
around.
Bobbie said, "Officer, would you handcuff me?" And the guy looks at her and went, yeah. He said, "In front of witnesses?" Yeah,
I'd handcuff me.
You know, so he actually
let us take a
handcuffed Bobbie.
picture.
And we
Yes,
took a
he was
picture
good
of it.
sport.
He was a good sport, and
That's
we
great.
didn't put him in the picture so he wouldn't get in any trouble.
It,
Because he
it
knows
was
that
me.
that's a thing.
It was me, Jennifer, Bobbie, Elise was with us. Yeah, different days. You all came before I had the cancer operation. I was so glad you visited with me because frankly, you didn't know if I was coming out the other side of that operation.
No, we were prepared to
that's
just
why
move
there
in
was
with
no
Miss
way.
Debbie if we needed to. We were staying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. And then
Different
COVID was
days.
announced like days later. It was insane. All of our
Yeah,
flights got shut down.
That was February 23rd.
Wow.
Right. We get home from that trip because I remember it was because I drove because I'm not that far. Like I love driving. So I'm like 9 hours. And I remember I drove at least dropped her off in Kentucky on the way home. She had to go see a client.
Mhm.
And it's just surreal. And I'm so glad that we get to see you on stage in Tampa.
I am too.
Because I sat right next to Miss Debbie during the last time that you were on that stage giving that session.
Mm-hmm.
And I think not only and this is not just because I consider you my mentor, but your contributions to our industry and how they evolve all the time is just something, it's a gift that we can never appreciate the gratitude for enough. And I know that I'm so grateful to have you in my life, both personally and professionally. And I'm so freaking excited. I won't drop the real F-bomb because it's a rule. But it is just going to be awesome and amazing. And I'll live stream it.
You're choking me up now.
I'm going to co-sign that because I couldn't say it better.
You got to see. Yeah. I did a sales meeting last Saturday for a Kia dealership in Delaware. Did you see the letter? That's on my
I did. I saw it.
I was in school all week last week, so I didn't
I
see
did.
it.
That was lovely.
One
That
of
was
the
so nice that he actually wrote to you.
One of the salespeople wrote me a letter about how I had motivated him. He made $200,000 this year, his first year in the car business. He made $200,000. He said, I've changed his life. And I look at how many people's lives I have affected.
Yep.
And
It's the best part of what
it's
we
so
do.
gratifying. I've got, we're talking about CJ Romick. I trained him from a salesman. I brought him to Chicago. I look at all the people that are dealers and general managers that I have developed through the years, all the way from salesperson. Remember Chris Baker? Remember Chris was on?
Yeah.
Chris, when he was
his dad, right?
When Chris was a green pea at Berger Chevrolet, he came in and I trained him as a green pea salesman. And now he's a dealer and the fastest growing dealer in the country. He just bought 23 stores.
Wow.
Now, I love the Michigan market only owned 4.
What's that?
It's fun to be proud of them. It's fun to be proud of all of us. We're super lucky. We're really blessed in the industry that we work in with all the trials and tribulations and everything that we do. We get to help other people win all the time. Dealers, vendors, the whole deal.
Isn't that
That's amazing. That's amazing. We're so lucky.
And as a legacy to you, Jim, I mean, I know I'm very proud. It's so funny. April, who's now on the Dawg Pound with us, I think that ripple effect, and this goes to the networking. I promise it's related to Digital Dealer, right? The ripple.
April speaking, yeah.
Yes, April is. But like the first time we had April on the show as a guest, she and I stayed on this for an hour later, just going over things. She was like, Jennifer, you said something about skipping service advisors to buy cars out of the lane. Like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, dude, let me just show you. Look, I'll jump in. We'll share it. Yeah. And those are things we learned from you. We learned the biggest way to make an impact on this industry is by inspiring and educating others. And I think every single person who stands on a stage, and if they're going to deny and say, like, there are the godfathers, right, that started this, that's even going around. And if we don't give homage, there's nothing new, right? We just find a way to make it spin faster. Put a little WD-40 on it. You don't need to recreate the wheel. You just need yours to spin faster than the competition. And you being a pioneer in this have inspired so many people to create and keep that ripple going. And I think that is a huge thing with conferences. We get to meet our mentors. We get to meet the people that we watch on these shows. And even me, I mean, I try to stay the man behind the curtain a lot of the times, hence, and then Bobbie making me go out. Like, I don't know.
Seriously. And after she says that, remember, I'm your favorite bonus daughter. Let's not forget that.
No.
Bonus daughter. Okay. Okay.
I'm always the favorite. Of
there's something to be said for seeing people on social media, following them, understanding the message that they're trying to get out there, the help that they're trying to share, the nuggets of information that they have that they're trying to impart for no other reason than they have the information, they know it'll help. And then actually going to a conference like Digital Dealer and actually getting to meet those people in person.
Eliana, it's amazing
seeing that they're real.
Social media. I've always been my success was always networking. In the book I wrote 30 years ago, it said the most powerful people on earth are those people that influence the most other people. Influence is power. Money is just measurement. And now I've got 150,000 friends and followers on the social media. My website with the videos on it got over 1 million views last month.
Yes, it did.
Yes, and Bobbie's doing my SEO over there, by the way, Greg. Bobbie's
excited about it.
Bobbie's working on it.
I don't know if I go that far. I'm just lending a hand.
But anyway, lending a hand. 1 million views on my Vimeo site. Just incredible.
It's crazy. Hey, did you see that somebody from TikTok is presenting a Digital Dealer, Jim?
What? I did see that.
They got TikTok, they have Amazon, they have Meta, and there was one more. TikTok,
Kyle,
Amazon, Meta.
Was that you that posted on LinkedIn this week going off about the whole TikTok for dealership thing?
No, that was Everson, but he and I had a conversation about it before he did. Yeah. Where all the OEMs are like, you need to do TikTok, but none of them know how to do TikTok. It's genius.
Well, that's a shocker. Yeah. Let's pick the most popular people.
And Brian Kramer is doing the metaverse.
Yeah.
Did you see him do the transaction?
Yes, I saw it. Transaction on the metaverse. I did a cartoon and put it on his Facebook page of him wearing a tinfoil hat talking to the aliens.
We were talking about that on that show that day.
Yeah, amazing.
Look, with the TikTok thing, it's funny because I remember when TikTok first started to come out right before COVID, where it became a bigger thing. And I was at a conference, Battle Plan, actually, and Chris Hill was out talking about how they were doing it for dealers, and he was showing it to me, and I was like, I don't know, and I was like killing it with it. I don't know if that's still the case, but it certainly was.
I mean, let's remember when Foursquare came out and everyone was like, oh, Foursquare's where you gotta be, so I mean,
hey, don't count Foursquare out. They're still a great.
I think I invented Foursquare.
And then there was Clout. You remember Clout? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but
have you seen
the
the video online?
Sure.
Have you seen the video online where I'm teaching Foursquare that was done 15 years ago at driving sales? There's a driving sale. It's got over 2 million hits. 2 million hits of me teaching Foursquare, and I keep telling people, take that video down. See, I don't own the video. I can't take it down because people think I still teach that stuff. I don't teach that anymore. But
they say you can't teach an old dog new trick.
It's got 2 million hits. I keep telling the people that own that video, take it down, and they won't take it down because it's got so much SEO.
Jody Porter, Ariel says, I have to check that. I have to check out that session.
Okay, so Jody Porter is the presenter from TikTok, and Ariel Velasquez says that she is awesome.
And look, guys,
it's very rare that Digital Dealer picks a presenter who's not awesome. So
Ariel Velasquez, don't you, Eliana? You know Ariel Velasquez.
Ariel and I had a wild night in Vegas. No,
do you know
Ariel's great. I know the story behind. He sat right here in my office and told me the whole story about how you brought him over and
when the hurricane leveled Puerto Rico, I arranged for one of my dealers to hire him and transport his whole family over here.
Ariel's a smart guy, very smart guy.
He's a great smart. Well, guys, we have exhausted an hour. I don't know what. Okay, Digital Dealer, May 9th through 11th. May 9th through 11th, Digital Dealer. All these characters will be there, but in spite of that, you might want to come anyway.
And I'm the tall one, by the way.
And you should answer with a question on here. If you're watching, tell us where session you're attending and why. Help the whole audience. Let's all collaborate.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'll be the loud one with the microphone on the center stage.
Then we know
I'll be dressed as Batman.
And be sure to attend Kyle or Greg's session.
No. If you're watching this, go see Kyle because I've got the double session. So you can go see Kyle and then you can switch over and see the second half of mine. And then the week after that, I'm sharing my session on our website and on social media. So you can watch a recording of the first half that you missed, but you can see both of us and it works out way better.
What a nice guy Greg is.
This Greg Gifford, that guy there, he's much smarter than he looks.
He's a giver.
He's
Very smart,
one of the smartest humans I know.
Without a doubt.
Everybody wave goodbye to the audience. Wave.